Alright, so I got a lot of questions yesterday because I said Windows 8 was awesome. People want to know why. And Gabe Newell, of course, was a big part of the quotes that I heard from people. So I just kind of wanted to clear up exactly what I meant by that. And so basically, the thing you have to look at is what makes it better than Windows 7. So I'll start out with that first. And just to preface, I was against Windows 8. If you listen to the show, you can hear me making fun of it and all this stuff. The thing that changed my mind was I talked to a developer who was very experienced. He works in Windows, Linux, all sorts of things. And I started talking about Windows 8 and Gabe Newell and all that stuff. And his opinion, and I'm just stating his opinion, is that it's all political and it has to do with licensing fees, and that they want lower licensing fees. So for Windows 8. The thing that I like best of all about it, and I know it's a small thing and there's third-party apps and stuff, but this is just so quick. So let's say I want to run Origin. So all you do is you hit the Windows key and then start typing, and it'll start showing applications. So Windows, Origin, and I have not set that up. So I'm an idiot. So all you have to do is you hit Windows. Let's say we want to run Diablo. So you hit Windows, start typing Diablo, and it brings up Diablo. Hit enter, and you're running Diablo. And you can literally do it really fast. So if I wanted to open up Word, I could just hit Windows key, Word, enter, and Word opens up. You don't even have to really wait to see it. You can see that's Word 2013, so it kind of matches. So that's the other thing. I also, everyone's upset about this Metro view, but it does load up, and all you have to do, though, hit desktop, you've got Windows 7. It's also faster than Windows 8. You can't tell here because XSplit's slowing things down, but it is faster than Windows 7. It boots faster, especially. And so if we hit the Windows key, we can see Metro here. We've got some of my photos. This stuff shows Facebook pictures and all that. Someone's posted this picture of maps occasionally, apparently. Messaging does Facebook and also Facebook and MSN, so you can see me typing crazy things to Q. And you've also got email here, which it's just fast. You can you load up and you can immediately see you can have all your accounts, and it's just there, so it's just easy. You go back here, you've got your calendar, you've got photos, you've got your stocks, which I'm sure that's not very enticing to gamers, but for my brother who does stocks, you've got all this stuff. It's pretty cool if you actually use that. The App Store, I know people are kind of, whatever about. There's not too many apps in there yet. One that, the Wikipedia one's kind of cool because it basically just, I don't know, it just makes stuff, it kind of makes it look like actually I should show you how I did that first too. So corners do different things. If you go up to the top left, it'll show you what you have open. So right now I just have Wikipedia open. If you go to the bottom left, you've got the start menu, and it'll eventually show up here. Come on, XSplit. And you can also see here, you go to the top left and it shows everything you got open. You can go start down there. And again, it was so slow just because of running XSplit. Usually this is really zippy. And then if you go to the bottom left, you'll get the start menu, which takes you to Metro. And again, it's going slow because of XSplit. But you click in the lower left-hand corner, it brings you back to this. If you hit the Windows key, it brings you back to whatever you were doing. Okay, so and then you've got these things over here. If you go to the top right, you get these icons here. You can go to settings, whatever devices. You can share it on stuff. You get the time there on the lower left and your strength of Wi-Fi. So I want to search Wikipedia, so I hit search here. I don't know. I'm just going to search Jesus because I know that He's there on Wikipedia. So just went back to Metro to show you how easy it is. But the cool thing is, so it kind of makes it look like a magazine, and you know, whatever. If you want to look at on Internet Explorer, you can do that too. I actually like Internet Explorer and Metro, and again, all these Metro apps are, you know, encoded or coded in Metro, and I think they run really nice. You can see the text looks really good, and that's something I'm actually going to touch on. But you know, you don't like it, go back to Windows. You can always click Desktop, and it's like Windows 7. You got it right here. You can do everything you want, just like you did before. The only thing I would say is, you know, you can hit your Start menu, and you can right-click and show all apps, and then you've got just like the old Start menu. You've got everything, so you can do it that way. But I mean, it's just so much easier to just say, you know, Windows key, type whatever you want, and then hit enter. I mean, it just goes so much faster. But like I said, you can still do whatever you want. You go to the top left here, and everything that you have is going to show up here, which, you know, I mean, it's basically your new Alt Tab type thing, and you still have the old Alt Tab. And again, XSplit is making this run ridiculously slow. Usually it's very zippy, but you can just go here. I want to go back to the weather in Metro. So if you click that, it's going to take you to the Metro weather app. And again, you don't have to use Metro at all. If you don't like it, don't use it. That's fine. I just like it for the speed features. So here's the other thing I like. I like Windows 10 or Internet Explorer 10, and I haven't used Internet Explorer 10 since 1990 or not 1990. Nice break. Since 2004. So you know, the most important thing to me in terms of browsers is how it renders text, because everything else is pretty much the same. You know, obviously Chrome is the speed king. It has been for a very long time. So if you want speed, hands down, Chrome's the way to go. But in terms of browsers and text rendering, first let's look at Firefox and Chrome. So I've got Firefox and Chrome here, and Firefox is being a little difficult, which, you know, whatever, Firefox. So I just want to show you the difference in text rendering here that we've got between these browsers. Maybe Firefox is not going to allow us to do that. And again, XSplit just is making this run ridiculously slow. If you are just running this regularly, without XSplit, it's literally zippy. Just, you know, very fast. So we've got Firefox here. As you can see, there's no difference from Firefox and Windows 7. I mean, I have this theme, persona, whatever, loaded up. But eventually Firefox is going to move to the right whenever it decides to. Love you, XSplit. I think the other reason XSplit is running bad is, you know, I'm on my laptop, not on my desktop. So if I was running on my desktop, this would probably run a little better. But so let's compare Firefox to Internet Explorer since it's up here. So if you look here, you've got your text, and if you look at Internet Explorer, it's just a little more anti-aliased, and there's less. It just looks a little less jaggy, and it just looks a little nicer. And again, most people probably don't care; they just want whatever's fastest, and because they're browsing the web, you know. And that's fine, but for me, this is what I like. Internet Explorer 10 is also a lot more compatible with websites than Internet Explorer 9 was. So let's go to Chrome now, since we've seen Firefox. And it's the same thing. Firefox and Chrome's text looks pretty similar. It's a little bit thicker on Firefox than it is on Chrome. And again, if we go back to Internet Explorer, let's see how Chrome compares. And again, it's just, you know, it just looks a little bit better to me. And again, personal preference, whatever, but I like Internet Explorer. You can also notice there's a difference in how things look than Windows 7. There's not really as much transparency up here, although you can enable transparency, but it's very different from Windows 7. But I like it the way it is here. You can set it to whatever you want, but I set it to black, and I think it looks nice. So that is pretty much Windows 7 or Windows 8. But I mean, so if you wanted to go to a control panel, and you can do it one of several ways. You can go to here and you can click settings, and here's where you turn it off, where you do all this kind of stuff. But so you can go to control panel there, or you can do it the way I would consider the smart way, and you can hit the Windows key, type control panel, or just control, and hit enter, and bam, control panel will load up, and it's actually loading to the power screen, because that's what I was messing with before. And so that's what you've got. So Windows 7 is perfectly fine. It's great. You don't need to upgrade, I don't think, at all. But I like Windows 8, and I think it makes tasks easier. It's also under the hood. It's much faster, both in regular use and boot, especially if you're not running XSplit. So it looks nice, and it runs nice, and it lets things faster. And if you don't want to use Metro, you do not, and that's the thing. I think everyone thinks you're forced to use Metro, you're forced to use apps. These are the apps I've installed. Everything else, like Diablo 3 obviously isn't in the App Store. Everything else, Skype's not in the App Store. Everything is very whatever you want to do. There's nothing forced on you. And you can see there's games here. You can see that here's my game activity, games that I've played recently. Here's my friends. So if you look at your friends, you can see the people that you have online or whatever. I haven't dug much into this yet, just because I haven't really had time, and I've had a ton of work to do. So I don't know if the friends list even works yet, which is fine, because it's not completely out yet, so it's not running fully yet, obviously. So I'm assuming here you'd see your actual friends once the services are up and running. But again, just want to show you desktop, and you're in normal Windows. So it seems like when people talk about it, they're just like, oh no, all I can do is that, blah 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 blah. But Metro does look nice. You can you've got various apps here. I usually, like, if I'm walking away from my computer, I'll just use the clock app. Just it's easy to look and see what time it is. But like I said, you do not have to use Metro. I know I keep saying that, but I just feel like when people talk to me, they think you have to use Metro, and you don't. You can just use this stuff, and you can navigate the old way to get to your stuff. I would say that the biggest difference is that the start menu is basically gone. I'm using a beta of Outlook, by the way, so that is probably why it's crashing. So it's the beta of 2013 preview, whatever. And I've got add-ins running and all sorts of crap. I just am asking for trouble. But the biggest thing is that the start menu is gone. But again, you hit Windows, you can load up all your apps, and you can have the start menu just like normal, or you can be Windows 80 and type in whatever you want at any time when you're in Metro, and it'll go. So that is Windows 8. And again, I'm not sure at all what people are afraid of here. I think it's Metro. But at any rate, if you like Windows 7, stick with it. There's no real reason to upgrade yet. I mean, it probably won't be for a while. I've run every pre-release version of Windows since XP. So, this XP, I remember when I did the pre-release of that was awesome. I remember Windows XP just being ridiculously amazing and loving it. Vista, I remember thinking was horrible. That was actually when I switched over to Macintosh, because it was terrible, and there's other reasons for that I might write an article about. And now I've switched back to Windows with Windows 7, because I thought Windows 7 was awesome. And Windows 8 I think is better. I think Windows 8 is the best operating system you can have right now. Honestly, I think it's better than all the Apple OSs and the Windows OSs and the Linux OSs. So